Hello, hello. How are you? This is Narissa Malloy, your business strategist, and we are here for the Profit Boosting Blueprint, how to optimize your business for maximum revenue. So listen, did you know that poor systems, wasted time can cost businesses about 30% of their revenue? So what does that mean for you? If you're making $100,000 in business, that means you can be losing up to $30,000. And if you make a million in business, that's $300,000. So the fact that you're here, that means you're in the right place because you want to identify how you can boost your revenue, maximize your revenue, and boost your profits. And we're going to talk about the key things that you need to look for and implement in order to get that done. So you're in the right place. You're an entrepreneur with a growing business. You may have a team, a small team or a large team. However, you realize that for you to get to your next level, that it's going to require you to identify some things, hone in some things, and really put some structure around your day-to-day processes, how you move your business, how you move in your business on a day-to-day. So I'm excited that you're here. Make sure you have your phone on silent, you have a notepad, a pen, because you're going to take a lot of great notes. And I want to make sure that you leave and stay to the end because I am offering a bonus for you. I can't leave you here without sending you with some tools. So I want to make sure that you can get ongoing support once we do that. So let's chime in. We already talked about how businesses are losing, how you can be losing money in your business because you lack poor systems and you're wasting time and things of that nature. But it could simply mean hiring new team members, expanding your service, increasing your profits. All of that can help you earn money back, but you have to do it strategically. So tonight we're going to talk about again some profit leaks, right? Some ways that you may be leaking and hemorrhaging revenue from your business, but you don't even realize it, or you may be leaving money on the table because you're not capturing it, right? So let's talk about number one, inefficient processes. Now, for those who don't know, I'm a registered nurse over 20 plus years in the healthcare space, also in lead. I have a background in leadership and business, and I've managed departments, closed departments, hired people, trained people, all those things. So strategy, systems, operations, implementing processes, improving those things are my go-to. So I can look into your business and see, okay, here are the keys, here are the things that you're missing out on. Here's something that you missed, and this is what we need to put in place so we can make this more simple and more structured so that you can either generate more sales or just maximize your revenue so you can be operating more efficiently and operating in excellence so that you can grow your business, right? So one of the things that I can identify, and it is a silent productivity killer, is inefficient processes. So when processes are broken, what happens most oftentimes, your team or even you as the owner may find a workaround. You may find the quickest thing that can help you get from point A to point B. But what it is, you may think, okay, I have a solution, but it's not. You're just avoiding the problem. So what happens is you're either spending more time, you're spending more money because you're not getting to the root of it. Another thing is if you have multiple team members duplicating the same efforts, tedious manual tasks that people are clocking in and out for, meaning you have people showing up on the clock doing these tasks that can be automated. And we're going to talk more about automations later on down the line. But that time is everything. And a sense of people not knowing what to do. I've had clients that had admins that said, you know what, I don't have enough work for the amount of hours. So even there is a loss of time. That's how you're losing money. So if you do not have the right processes, the workflows in place to help your clients or help you to perform more proficiently and efficiently, you're losing revenue. Next thing, overproduction, doing too much, the resource, draining resources, things you don't see coming. Like, for example, for those of you that may have a practice, whether it's a virtual practice or a healthcare agency, outdated forms that's gathering dust, duplicating copies, making overstocking on medical supplies, printing excessive paper and ordering excessive supplies that's just sitting on the shelf. All of that overproduction is a waste of money. It's a waste of resources. And again, it is killing your profits. So you want to, we always talk about operating lean, and operating lean is great, but you want to operate more strategically. So yes, you need someone to be looking at your materials. Are you putting dates and things on your materials so that you have to throw it out? Like, little things like that mean a lot depending on what type of business you are, whether you're a service provider or in the healthcare space. You want to look at overproduction and ways that you are wasting resources because again, that's money hemorrhaging out the back door of your business. Number three, unnecessary motion, the hidden, sorry, the hidden thief of time is um unnecessary motion. So when I was in a hospital setting, one thing we learned was the waste walk, right? Through the lean method. And so I would say if you have a practice or some type of brick and mortar business, I want you to look at the layout of where your employees are, where your team is, where are items they need. Is the copy machine within reach? Do they have to get up and walk long distances down the hall? You want to make sure that things are structured strategically and within reach to avoid moving all over the place because that takes a lot of time. If they're constantly crisscrossing over the clinic or searching for supplies or searching for patient charts or consulting with colleagues, every minute counts. Every minute is hour on the clock. Every minute it just wastes a lot of time. So I want you to think about your day-to-day workflow of your team. Do you see ways where you can definitely tighten up some things, move some things around strategically, so no, they're not having to walk to the end of the hallway for a fax or things of that nature, right? And you'll be surprised. I know this sounds like, oh, but you'll be surprised. And the last thing is waiting time, the silent growth killer. Now, for you CEOs and for you business owners, if your team has to constantly wait on you to sign off, to approve, to deliver, and it causes a whole backlog, then you may be contributing to how you're wasting money, wasting time, and impacting your overall revenue. You are the bottleneck in your business. So, waiting for those approvals and things of that nature, when your team can't move forward because they're waiting on something for you that could become, and therefore their task can be completed in 48 hours, but because they're waiting for you, it takes a week. That's that's being non-productive. And so they are sitting and waiting while you are still doing your everyday thing. There has to be a different process in place so that things can get done. So it's very important that you identify any of these things. So let's think. I talked about a couple of things just now: inefficient processes, overproduction, unnecessary motion, and waiting time, wasting time waiting. Which one of these are you guilty of, or do you see in your current business? It may be one, it may be two, it may be all. But I want you to really think about which one of these things are really killing your business, your profits, your revenue, your time. And I want you to think about which one are you going to target and to make a dent in and make some changes so that you can tackle that revenue, because all of these things equate to money. Everything I talked about, inefficient processes, it's hours. Hours equals dollars. Overproduction, producing too much materials, you're wasting resources, you're wasting time, you're wasting money. Unnecessary motion, you're wasting time, which equates to money. Waiting time, waiting for you to approve, bottlenecks, things of that nature. Again, wasting time and wasting money. So the key to boosting your profit is identifying where are you wasting time and wasting money in your business, in the way you run your business on a day-to-day basis. Identify where you're wasting time and money, and I guarantee you that will help you to recoup some money and maximize your revenue. So let's talk about the profit building blueprint. So I have a framework that I use when I work with my clients. It's 3 Ds. It's define, design, and dominate. So what we do initially is an assessment where we have to define all the gaps, all the ways that you are leaking revenue, all the ways that you are wasting time and the ways that you are wasting your resources. Now, for you, if you may be in a place in your business where you're like, I'm now starting up, I'm trying to expand, I'm trying to grow. How does this apply to you? So listen, if you are the type of entrepreneur in the infant stage and you're now getting started and you find that you are spinning your wheels trying to figure out what to do next, or you have an admin, but you haven't clearly defined what that admin should be doing to support you or to drive revenue in your business, that's one way for sure that we need to define their role and responsibility. What are they reporting out? What are we measuring so that you can make sure that you're productive, that you're spending your time wisely, and that you are earning for what you're paying them for? Hope that makes sense. That what you're paying them for, you're getting a direct result, whether it's adding to your bottom line or removing time from you so you as the CEO can do more to bring in business for bring in more business for your company. So that's one situation. If you're already established entrepreneur and you have a team and you have a team doing different things, are you optimizing the team that you have? Basically, if you have 5 team members and you have 5 team members doing some of the same things, or you have a team member that is not functioning to their highest capabilities, but you're hiring other people and there's someone on your team that can do it, that's a way that you can definitely be losing revenue. And these are the things that it takes a deep dive to define. Where are these gaps? Where am I losing revenue? Or how can I bring in more revenue? Are there some areas where you know what? You're gathering leads in your business. However, you're constantly doing more to capture more leads, but are you nurturing the ones that you currently have? Is there a process in place for you to be calling your clients, to be calling the people that submit something on your website, or for someone that opts into a program or a webinar that didn't show up? Are you calling them to say, hey, we noticed that you signed up or you registered but didn't show up? Is there something that I can support you with? Those are the key. That's the way you're leaving money in your business. So the first part of the framework is defining those things. Where am I not capturing and maximizing my revenue? The next step in the process is designing. Now that we've identified these things, we need to design a plan. What does it look like? An actionable plan, a step-by-step strategy where we can go from point A to point B and address those gaps, put things in place, and then we track it. So what the next step is dominate. Once we identify the once we define the gaps, put solutions in place, now we need to execute. And with execution, it's not just execute and walk away. No, we need to dominate, move forward, look to see. Now that we've implemented it, let's start testing. Let's start looking at strategies. How are we measuring? What are the key performance indicators? How do we know that it's working? Oh, wait, we need to tweak something because this happened as a result of this. So that's where the dominating phase comes in. And that again requires measuring, tracking, evaluating, and tweaking. So all of those things is what it takes in order for you to not only identify, but to implement, and so that you can see more of your income and of course your time. So that's the 3-step framework that we use. And so here I want to I just want to touch on some different strategies because I want you to walk away not only just with information, but I want you to be able to identify, implement, look to see, you know what, I can do XYZ. So I want to give you some ideas of other ways that you can also increase your profitability. Now that we've identified some leaks and hemorrhages and the ways you're wasting it, here are some other ways that you can increase profitability. So let me know if this is working for you, if this is making sense, and if you're getting some nuggets, drop it in the chat. What stand out for you so far? But first, the first thing, pricing strategies. Your pricing can be one of the blocks to your revenue. So let me say that again in a better way. You have to have strategies for your pricing that's going to increase your profits. If you find that you are selling a service and regardless of how many sales you make, or you set a goal and you feel like you're still under, then it's probably time to increase your price. Or if you have a call and you say, hey, this is the price, and they're like, oh, okay, I thought it was more. That's a sign you also need to increase your price. So I want you to think about your current pricing. When was the last time you raised your prices? Um, and then think about your profit margins. Your profit margins should be at least 30 to 40% at a minimum. That's the lowest your profit margin should be. So basically, whatever you're charging, and the price and what it costs, meaning your expenses to deliver that, once you subtract those two, the profit that you have should be at least, and I say 40 to 50%, but standard is 30 to 40%. So you want to make sure that whatever you're charging, once you minus your expenses, that you still have at least a 40 to 50% profit. And if you're doing anything under 30%, then you need to raise your prices yesterday. Pricing is everything. You have to think about market demand. The market is changing, inflation's going up. You still have to pay for your support, your admins, your software. Software is going up. I'm looking in emails and I'm seeing price increases for basic tools that we've been using, Canva, StreamYard. So with that being said, you have to account for that in your pricing as well, because if you're not raising your prices, but all your software and your team and your support is raising prices, then you're going to be under when you charge your clients to deliver. So you have to look at your prices. And then also, if you're someone that does hourly, I would say it's time to go to value pricing. Value-based pricing. It's not based on the price of your service or the price of the product, but what is the value that people receive from using your product or service? Because people truly paying for results. And if you can deliver those results, and people will pay you anything because this is what they truly need, right? So they pay for what they value. A lot of you see it. They've had pictures of paper clips that cost thousands of dollars, and people buy it because that's what they value. So the same thing for your business. You want to make sure that you are priced based on the value that you bring. And then you can offer tiered pricing. It doesn't have to be just one-stop shop. You can offer tiered pricing based on, for example, the access that someone gets, or the amounts of support they receive, or the amounts of supplies they receive in their package, whether it's medication or coaching, whatever that is. If you're a service provider, you can create three-tiered packages at different price points, and it could be like a basic, a premium, a VIP. Implementing those little things as add-ons to some of the services you already deliver can be phenomenal. It could definitely be a way to increase your pricing. So you want to think about pricing strategies that can increase profitability, and you want to make sure that you stay on top of your price increases, right? So that's one strategy that can help boost your revenue. The second thing is streamlining operations. And we talk about that. You hear that a lot. Simplify what you do on a day-to-day basis, what your team is doing. Again, putting processes and workflows in place, removing the bottlenecks so people can be more efficient. So when someone is on the clock, for 3 hours, you know that they are getting things done versus they're 3 hours waiting for you to sign something, waiting to respond, calling you. So you want to make sure that you look at your processes, make sure things are working, the workflows are in place, people are working when they say they are. Are you tracking time? Are you tracking productivity? And are you tracking efforts and results and the goals? Super duper important. Reducing overhead costs. We're talking about making more money, but looking at ways that you can save is also important. Looking at your tech stack. How many different softwares are you paying for, or annual subscriptions or monthly subscriptions that you can cut out that you're not even using, that no longer serves you? That's some different ways that you can definitely save money. Expenses for your staff or resources, things that they are paying for, again, that's piling up. Reducing those costs. You can even negotiate better deals with certain providers, certain EMR companies, things of that nature. Ask. The most they can say is no, but this is a way that you can retain revenue. I know we always talk about making more, but you want to also be a steward of what you already have. So you want to find ways that you can save and protect your costs. And then another thing is team structure. I talk about this a lot. Having an organizational chart, having roles and responsibilities so everyone knows that they're handling the right tasks. And yes, you can cross train so people can and help and support when people are out. But you want to make sure that people are not overlapping, doing redundant things, doing the same things, because that equals time and labor costs. You want to manage your labor costs at all costs. You want to make sure that you are tracking that, again, people are in the right roles, doing the right things, delivering the right results. That's a simple way for you to look at your operations to reduce and protect costs. And then you want to think about new revenue streams. Are there any ways that you can tap into different industries or fill in a gap or a product or something that you can add on to what you're doing as an upsell so that you can generate more revenue? Is there something that you're already delivering, but you know if they have this, it'll potentiate their results, right? It'll optimize their results. So you add on this piece to that, whether it's an additional coaching call, whether it's a different additional service or a product. How can you add that on to bring in more revenue? And then partnerships. I'm a person of partnerships. I host a brunch, annual prayer brunch. And last year, the theme was prayer and partnerships. And that's going to be the ongoing underlying theme. Because through that event, people got together, people partnered up on different projects, contracts, so many different things. So the same thing. You don't have to wait for the brunch to do that, or you don't have to listen, partner up, network, meet people, collaborate, services that complement you. See if there's a way that you can bundle it together. You guys share, promote, and target even a bigger entity. Listen, it's more than enough for everyone. There's no reason why you have to feel like I have to hold on to what I have or do what I do so I can make what I make. No, there is more than enough. So if two people collaborate, that means that you can earn so much more because you have so many resources, you have more innovation, more brains in the pot. Like, listen, it's time to think about who can I collaborate with where we can both complement each other and corner the market and maximize and boost our revenue. So those are some things I talked about. And then lastly, you want to make sure you're leveraging technology and automations. It is so, so important. Now, AI is the talk. And let me tell you, if you are not in the AI train, that you are missing out because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, there are trends, things are changing, you have to implement. Your team can be using automations to be more productive. Gone are the days of Excel spreadsheets. Now they have things that can zap information and shoot things across, connect things where you do not need to have someone manually doing those tasks anymore. That way you can remove that task and you can pay them to do something else that can drive revenue in your business, and they can just make sure that the automations are working. So you want to make sure that you're looking at your marketing efforts. Are you scheduling? Are you pre-planning? Are you repurposing? Are you creating reels from events and videos and things of that nature? Project management tools to track time, to track productivity and efficiency, communication. You want to stay on top of communication so everyone in your team is productive. CRM systems. Are you staying on top of your clients and your leads? CRM, I can't even remember what the acronym stands for now, but it's basically how you manage your customers. It's a customer relationship management tool. So how are you managing your customers, your potential customers? Are you staying top of mind? Are you sending emails? Are you sending newsletters? Uh, that if you are not building a list, you need to do that yesterday. And again, using tools that can automate invoices, automate signing agreements, expenses, all of those things. Because here's the thing, humans make mistakes. There is a such thing as human error. And if there's any way that you can reduce human error and you just have the humans there to just check and make sure that there are no errors from the automations, then you are maximizing time and you still need humans. Don't get me wrong. AI is not going to remove humans, but you want to make sure you use them to the best of your ability so that you're not wasting money and you're not wasting time. So I talked about a couple things there to boost your revenue. Let me just do a quick recap. Um, So you want to make sure that you're pricing for profitability, looking at where your current prices are. Have you raised your prices recently? What are your profit margins? And tiered pricing. And then you want to streamline, simplify how you operate your business on a day-to-day to reduce costs. Look at your processes. How can you improve it to reduce wasting time and resources? What can you outsource and automate, especially with repetitive, redundant manual tasks? How can you limit your overhead? What are some subscriptions that you can cut out? Looking at your team, optimizing your team. And then identify new revenue streams. Who can you partner with? What type of services can you have as an upsell, as an add-on to bring in more revenue? And then tapping into new markets too. If you've been only targeting one market and you've already maximized that, and not really maximized, but you have it down pat, who else can you tap into? And then finally, leveraging AI, automations, technology to be more proficient, to cut time, meaning to speed up your processes so that you can make more. Because listen, as the business owner, as the CEO, if you can find ways to take things off your plate and then you have the right people in the right seats to execute, that leaves you more time to focus on developing your business, making partnerships, creating partnerships, doing more sales, all the things that you need to do to drive revenue, plus have some type of peace of mind and fulfillment and some structure because you're not doing it all. You're not chasing. You have the right systems and structures and the people in place, the support, so that you can go out and just thrive in business and keep your sanity because you're not all over the place. Now, that does not say that you're not going to have stress, you're not going to have ups and downs, but at least it wouldn't be stress, losing money and wasting time. You're on top of that, and it may just be the day-to-day running of your business, the things that you as the CEO have to stay on top of. So I hope this brought you immense value. I have a free gift. For those of you on the call, for those of you who are watching this, I'm offering five spots for a 15-minute strategy session. My strategy sessions generally start at $500 and up for an hour where we sit down, we deep dive. I give you one strategy, one solution to one challenge you're having, and then you can go out and implement. So, but for you only, for those of you who are watching this, you get access to 15-minute strategy, meaning if you've identified some of these things or you have some questions, you want to know how to implement, how does this apply? I figured out this one thing. I know what it is, my pricing structure. I have some questions I need to figure out. How can I optimize? How can I tier price this? Or what can I add on? Then you need to book a call. Again, 15-minute strategy session. I'm gifting that for you just for being here. So make sure you click the link, grab your session, schedule it with me. It's available for the next 5 people, complimentary. But I want to make sure you have the tools that you need to boost your profits and maximize your revenue so that you can protect your costs and grow your business. So I thank you for joining. My name is Narissa Malloy, business strategist. And listen, I serve healthcare entrepreneurs and professional service providers that are growing, expanding, and that are looking to operate in excellence so that they can serve their community and serve their families and save their sanity. I thank you for joining. Again, grab your 15-minute strategy session, and I look forward to having conversations with you to show you how you can optimize your business, maximize your revenue, and boost your profits. See you.